So today I want to, this has been bothering me for a while, and I just wanted to talk about it and put it into a little informative YouTube video. Hopefully it's informative. But I want to talk about the problems I have with all the electric trucks that have been coming out or will be coming out in the next couple of years, or the companies say they'll be coming out in the next couple of years. My problem with these trucks is that they're luxury vehicles made for wealthy people that probably don't need or don't have a use for an actual truck. So today I'm going to look at 4 of the upcoming electric trucks that are out there: the GMC Hummer, Rivian R1T, the Bollinger B2, and finally the Tesla Cybertruck. Now, what I'm not going to talk about is the specs. They're all high-end and luxury vehicles. As far as EVs go, the ones you'll be able to buy the soonest are all going to have a range of at least 300 miles, EPA estimated. They'll all be dual motor. They'll all be able to go 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. With the exception maybe the Bollinger B2. That's more of a pure utility vehicle. I think it's awesome that these trucks exist and they're coming out. The issue is that the people that want to go all electric and would have a need for an electric truck can't realistically afford these vehicles, especially brand new. Now, I say realistically because yes, I could afford these vehicles, some of these vehicles, but it would just be stupid financially. So again, my problem with these vehicles is that they're extremely expensive. They're made for wealthy people. It's just a lot of money. I don't know how else to say than that. It's just, and I know they're following Tesla's model. Go high end and then go back from there. Go high end and then make products that are more and more affordable to the average person. I get that, but it just kind of makes me angry. Like, they're making these really high end cool vehicles, but who can afford them? Very wealthy people that they already have a Model S, Model X. In my opinion, just a car that they're going to add to their collection. Maybe not. I'm sure there are people out there who are like, I'm saving up for a Cybertruck and I'm going to use it as my actual work truck for my business, and that'd be great for them because then they can write it off essentially as a business expense. But so let's just switch to the computer screen here. If you do just a quick Google search for electric trucks, just the first thing that comes up: 12 electric pickup trucks. Here are 12 electric pickup trucks in the work. All right, so GMC Hummer EV, Tesla Cybertruck, Rivian R1T, I'm going to talk about these, Bollinger B2, so I'm going to talk about these first 4. Ford F-150 electric, I'm not going to talk about that because it's in the works, but it's not, I haven't heard anything like it's coming out in a couple of years or anything. Nikola Badger, I'm not putting any stake in Nikola. I hope they succeed and hope they come out with some products, but that's pure concept in my opinion. Lordstown, I don't know anything about them, so I'm not going to talk about them. Hercules Alpha, I didn't know what that is. Atlas XT, I don't know what that is. Neuron EVT1. A lot of these are, in my opinion, just concept vehicles that I've never reproduced. Fisker Alaska. Fisker's already failed. Potentially something from Lucid Motors. That's stupid. From Ram. So obviously, if you've owned an EV and you've driven EVs, you know that they're superior in many ways to an internal combustion engine vehicle. So it only makes sense, and the truck is a perfect platform because you have all this space on the floor for a skateboard-style battery pack, and then the motors and the drivetrains aren't very big for the front rear axle. So it's really a perfect platform for a truck. Again, I'm not going to go over all the specs. You can look at that yourself. Just go to each website. We're just going to talk about the price point and what they're advertising versus what will probably actually happen based on what I've seen in the market. So first things first, let's go over the GMC Hummer. So GMC.com, electric truck, Hummer EV, find it. So skipped all the stuff, all the marketing material, went down to what is actually for sale here. So if you follow my mouse, if you go to reservation, all the way to the right, Hummer EV Edition 1. So the reason I'm going to this one is because if you look at, what am I pointing at the screen? Available, look at these availability dates, all 2021. So if you're into Hummers and you're into electric vehicles and you're rich, you want to be the first one to own one, I guess. Possibly fall of next year. Starting point, $112,000. So the price of a small, very affordable home, you can get yourself a Hummer EV Edition 1. 3 motors, 350 plus mile range, a ton of horsepower, ton of torque. That 0 to 60, 3 seconds. Yeah, that's kind of the standard for these high-end vehicles. So even if you want to like wait and try to go to something that it's still 80 grand, you're gonna have to wait till spring 2024, and that's if the vehicle is a success and it sells. And 2 motors, 250-mile range, yeah. So that's the Hummer EV. I mean, I'm not like, who's gonna buy that? I don't know, not me. So going to Rivian, all right. Rivian, I'm excited. I hope they do well. It's a cool company, right? I mean, there's nothing to not be excited about. It's like, unless you have stake in them, which they're not a publicly traded company yet, go, good for them, go. I hope they succeed. Again, I just went to their Rivian.com, 1RT, Romeo 1 Tango, and then I scrolled down, just kind of get to the basic features and then price point. We got the Launch Edition, which is probably the one you can get first, the Adventure, and then the Explorer. They all look like the same truck, just different features. So they all offer 300+ mile range, like I already said. I'm not gonna go over each feature, but starting at $75,000, and delivery start June 2021. So that's right around the corner. For the Launch Edition. The next one over, the Adventure, starting at $75,000, delivery start January 2022. Okay, so same price point, we have to wait a little bit longer. So you might as well just buy, if you're gonna buy one, buy the Launch Edition. And then finally they advertised their starting price point at $67,500, which isn't really that much less than $75,000, January 2022 again. And that's not a guarantee. That's just what their best estimate is right now, I'm sure. So again, $75,000 starting out. And if you've ever bought something brand new, you can at least add 5, if not 8 to 10 grand to that price for taxes, registration, insurance, shipping fees. I think Tesla charges a $1,200 shipping fee if you buy a new car from them. But again, great looking car, all-wheel drive. I think each wheel has like independent torque. I'm not gonna get into that, but all these trucks have tons of storage. A frunk, different little places where a normal truck doesn't have storage. They're all good. Let's go to the Bollinger B2. Again, that's what it looks like. It's more utility. It's not as flashy. It looks almost kind of more like a Jeep type vehicle. Bunch of torque, bunch of towing. This one has a little bit lesser range, but I think this is more, again, meant for more utility work, not necessarily taking your boat 500 miles on the weekend type of thing. Well, if you look up right here, SRP, that probably stands for starting retail price, $125,000 for essentially a work truck. That's a lot of money. Again, who's buying this? I hope Bollinger succeeds. I hope they kick ass and they sell a lot of vehicles, but I call it jealousy. Like, I wish I had $150,000 to spend on an all-electric truck. I guess if I cashed in everything, I could. But yeah, looks neat. Finally, and this is also, if you can look at yourself, go to tesla.com/Cybertruck/design #better. Cybertruck, cool, again, fancy. What's funny about this is the actually, if it's advertised, the most affordable one. And the most affordable one is $50,000. And the reason I'm not looking at the single motor rear wheel drive is that based on Tesla's past, what they've done in the past, their base model, they don't put that out until well past they put out the more upgraded fancy versions, essentially. So, and it shows you here, it tells you single motor rear wheel drive production is expected to begin in late 2022, so 2 years from now. If you want the tri-motor for $70,000 or the dual motor for $50,000, which is, if I had the money, would be the one I would get. Dual motor all-wheel drive production is expected in late 2021, so wait a year for your truck. Due today, buy now. You're not buying a Cybertruck right now, you're just giving them $100 interest-free. 300+ mile range, bunch of towing capacity, 0 to 60 less than 4.5 seconds, tri-motor less than 3 seconds. All-wheel drive, crew cab, bed, you can tow stuff obviously. And as far as I'm concerned, those are the only 4 trucks that will probably be produced in the next 1 to 2 years. Those other things I looked at on this page were, I believe, I'm going to say concepts at best. Maybe there's a prototype out there, but I guess kind of what's like the end game for this. The end game for this is that, like, I would love to be able to go all electric with all my cars. I still have my 2013 Prius, and I still have my 2013 Volt and my 2018 Zero SR motorcycle. So I'm like halfway there, right? I bought a 9-acre piece of property. It's got some land. There's some things I want to do, and I've come to the conclusion that unless I want to rent a truck or borrow a family member's truck, because every one of my family members pretty much has a truck, right? We live in rural Indiana. I'm gonna need to buy my own. And I wanna spend about $8,000 or less cash for a work truck. So let's just see what we can get for $8,000 for essentially what you're paying for with it. So here's the thing with a truck. What you're paying for is a bed. That's what you have a truck for, to haul things. It doesn't need to be all-wheel drive, it doesn't need to be four-wheel drive. It can be rear-wheel drive only. The market for trucks has become a luxury market, and you know, if that's what sells, that's what the manufacturers are gonna make. I don't understand it. I think it's stupid because the beds on them are like, some of them are like that long. You got a crew cab with the bed that long. It's like, why don't you just buy a car? Anyway, so let's go to Auto Trader. Chevrolet, Silverado, zip code. What I'm looking for is something. I'm looking for an actual work truck. So like all these trucks up here that I just went over. People that are buying them, you know, first are, you know, people that have money out the yin-yang, I guess. I don't know, or they're just deeply in debt. I think the issue is that people aren't necessarily wealthy. They have high incomes that support high levels of debt. And they have decent credit, so they can, you know, get whatever they want. So, and I want I just want regular cab. I don't even want a crew cab. So within 50 miles of me, let's see, we got a U2008 1500 regular cab. Can't even talk. Cab, 158,000 miles. It's blue, 6-cylinder, 2-wheel drive for $7,500. I think I've looked at this one before. The outside looks great. Inside, yeah, I might want to replace that seat. That's a little gamey, but put a seat cover over it. It's fine. So that would be a good one to buy. I'd be okay with that if it ran good. Here's one. I haven't seen this one. Newly listed. 2005 Chevrolet Silverado 1500. 2-wheel drive, rear, 6-cylinder. 6-cylinder. That 4.3 liter V6 6-cylinder is actually a really good engine. My parents have owned cars that have had that engine before when I was growing up, and it's really, really good. Right there, it looks clean. It's got a hitch, full size bed, regular cab. It looks like the seats look good, interior looks good. I guess my point is that as much as I would love to go electric, 100% electric, the average person just can't afford that, and it's going to be a long, long time before I see a used, even $20,000 all-electric pickup truck. The more regular person could just buy. But this is probably already sold. That looks really good. If I was going to buy a truck today, I'm waiting for the spring because I don't need a truck right now. I would go look at that today. This right here, this Chevrolet Silverado, other than carry 5 people, can do everything that GMC Hummer can do. Not everything, obviously. For what the average person needs. Unless you're going off-road in Montana, you don't need all-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. I grew up in Indiana. Don't judge me. I know what I'm talking about. My dad always had a 2-wheel drive truck. He now has a 4-wheel drive truck, and he's had it for a couple of years, and he said that he's used 4-wheel drive like twice, and once was just to like test it out. Global warming, we don't get as bad winters here. It's not so. You're paying for a bed. You're paying for a bed on 4 wheels to haul things, and that's what a truck is. So these luxury vehicles, the Hummer, the Rivian, the Bollinger, the Bollinger's not really a luxury vehicle. That's more for a work truck, but it's also the most expensive one, which is kind of weird. You think that the Bollinger would be like $30,000. The Cybertruck, they're great, but they're built for a market of wealthy people that don't really need a brand new truck. Just want the coolest, newest thing. It's kind of a pessimistic video, but it's reality. Not very many people don't think talk in reality. Say if you want one of these electric new trucks, either be prepared to go into a bunch of debt, or maybe you saved a bunch of money, or maybe you're truly wealthy and you can sell off one of your assets and pay cash for one. But hope you enjoyed my video. Clay Bierman. See you next time. I would definitely look at that truck. Go away, go away, go away, go away, and go away. Bam. Oops, nope, wrong thing.